work on this. Just pause for a second. We're offline.
Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Sorry, guys.
Nah.
Welcome back, everybody. If you're just tuning in, we are going 2020 countdown, Ropeadope style, running down the releases throughout the year. You know, Lewis earlier shouted out some crazy number of how many albums and how many singles, but just know it's north of 100 amazing pieces of music that came out from the Ropeadope family. And I'm joined here today with some monster musicians. As you guys know, they're no stranger. You know, I have Nathan Paul out of Cleveland, Ohio. I have Greg Spiro out of LA. Craig, thanks for, you know, coming up and waking up so early here for us. We heard some music before that. I appreciate that. We heard some music, man, on the last stream. So we had a little hiccup here. So this is a new stream. So go and check out, you know, that last feed that we just finished broadcasting. And you know, Greg, we heard some music from you and Judy Jackson that came out in the beginning of, or mid-February, I think it was. So, dude, this pandemic, it's crazy, right? You referenced earlier how, you know, one of the things to keep you motivated was doing, you know, mornings with Greg at the beginning of this pandemic, right? So let's fast forward, right? So that was several months ago. What's Greg doing now, man? What are you doing to keep the creative juices flowing? What are you doing? You know, how are you setting up your 2021? Like, bro, what's up, dude?
That's a loaded question, bro.
I know.
Man, I've got a lot of music planned for 2021, a lot of music creation. I sort of, you know, what you see me doing is generally what I did about a year ago. So this music that we're putting out, most of it was recorded pre-pandemic. And during the pandemic, I have barely been working on any new music. I've been doing it a little bit, but I've been spending most of my time working on a problem in the artist community, which is how the hell are artists going to survive during and after this shit? Because I think that the vaccination is going to take a long time to really be propagated throughout our whole society to the point where we can have concerts like we had before. And I think people are going to be a little more paranoid in the future, in general, no matter what. So I, at the beginning of the whole pandemic lockdown situation, I had this idea on how artists could monetize their fan base in a better way, and I've been actually doing it myself on that weekly piano channel that I have.
Nice.
I don't know if you know about that, the channel youtube.com/weeklypiano, which is, I don't have my name on it. I do a little bit now, but for 10 years I've been doing it just without my name on it because people were asking me for little jazz piano lessons, and I was basically too insecure to have my name attached to the lessons that I would give because it was all so like ad hoc, and so it was just weekly piano. But it got 26,000 subscribers, and
damn,
all these pianists like asking me for questions, and so I used this model to monetize that channel, and I want to give this model to other artists to monetize their own channels. And it's just a fan generated question model where fans can ask you questions, and then they can crowdfund the answers to those questions. So they promise micropayments on that, and the whole fan base basically promises micropayments on a single question that you can answer if you want to, and you get the money they're promising if you answer it, or you can ignore it, and then they can promise more money or take their money out and promise it on other questions. But it's like fan generated Kickstarters. And so I took this out of all the things that I had in my brain, this seemed like the thing that could revolutionize the way that artists make their living and just make things better for artists in a big way. So I decided to build that, and we're about to launch. Some artists are on it, like Herbie Hancock is on it right now. Quincy Jones III. I brought some friends onto the platform in the beta in test flight, but I'll be releasing it to the App Store and letting my friends use it as well in the wider artist community pretty soon. So that's what you'll probably see throughout 2021 as far as output from me. It's going to be technology, but during that time when that's output, I'll be working on a ton of new music. I've got a bunch of mixing to do for the Chicago experiment, which we're going to put out. It has Mackay McCraven on it, Marquise Hill, Joel Ross, like all the Chicago cats. And I'm so excited to be releasing more music with them. And who knows, maybe we'll actually be able to tour with it if shit opens up enough. Or I guess I should say when, because it will open up at some point. I just think it'll be longer than we think. So the Chicago experiment that will come out, and then I'll be making more music. I'll be remixing those tracks that I've been putting out with Mono Neon and Sput and Ronald Bruner Jr. and Russell Sirota. I'm going to actually make new pieces out of those with vocalists and other special guests, instrumentalists. So probably put those out as well. We've got stuff coming out with Miguel Atwood Ferguson, some duets that are going to come out in March. And then the Heartstrings Project stuff, they just released their record, and we're talking about what new music to put out for them. And then I'll probably be trying to sign a couple more people to the Tiny Records label, because there's just so many. I mean, as you heard in Nathan's music that you just played, it's like there's just such a plethora of incredible talent, and that talent deserves to be heard and have a voice. So I look forward to working hand in hand with you guys to put out more great music and spread the word of all these creative juices that are flowing during this crazy period.
You heard it. Send your demos too.
Oh God.
Jerome Brown at tinyrecords.com.
Greg, you know what, man, here's what I appreciate about you. First of all, your musicianship is just, out of this world, and your network and connections with other awesome artists, musicians is just phenomenal, but then to hear the entrepreneur inside of you, really taking head on without permission, without asking for anything. You're just like going out there and doing whatever it takes to, solve some real freaking problems and some real issues. And I think that's what I appreciate about you the most, on top of all of that, is just your drive and ambition to say, fuck it. You know what? There's some serious shit that's messed up, and I'm not going to wait for someone else to fix it. I'm just going to take it head on, and I'm going to try this. I'm going to try that. And I really always, admire that about you, bro.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. I mean, I told myself I would never get back into that.
Yeah.
I swore off digging into the technology business world long ago, but man, it's just too important right now, and artists are being too, like, it's funny, we got into this era where artists were so empowered with all of this new technology that was coming out. We had the ability to go direct to our fans, and then by the nature of anything that happens, it's like those outlets became very centralized and competitive with each other, and made it so then again it's really hard for artists to monetize. It's like this flow, and so now artists are being squeezed by the big social platforms and the big media platforms, and everybody's fighting to get streaming to pay as little as possible, because that's the nature of how tech and competition works. But now because of that, we really have to step up our game and figure out a new way to empower artists to own their own market. And that's what you guys are doing.
I
at
want
the
to
record
chime in
label.
on that. I'd like to chime in. Sorry to interrupt, but Fabian talked about your entrepreneurial spirit, but it's not classic entrepreneurial spirit. It's entrepreneurial spirit within a community. Right, you'll see Tiny Records have all kinds of collaborations, all kinds of people. There's everybody in the family, so to speak. So I want to reach out to people who are watching and who may play this later. now it's time for the community to be one community, and that's fans, musicians alike, right? So, and that's the nature of the market, capitalism in general, is that you don't really have to close the doors, you can still stream, but we're counting on fans, and we're seeing it in 2020 in big numbers. I mean, our Bandcamp numbers are up 250% throughout 2020. And it's because listeners are getting in the community and putting the money more directly to artists. So that's what I think is the solution. The rest of the stuff is always going to be out there, and honestly, the pricing is so low, Spotify at $10 a month, that you can do that and also spend money directly to musicians and have the best of both worlds.
Exactly. That's what it's about, is recognizing where the community is. And Spotify is not the community. YouTube is not the community. The community is the people, and this fabric that we've woven with all the individuals creating their great music, and then the fans who want to support those individuals. And you can support those individuals just by being a consumer, which is amazing. Like, you can get the vinyl that you want and just get it directly from the artist. And now the artist is able to make a living and create more music for you. And you don't, as long as you know where to go and where not to go, and know that now that we have these facilities within the context of the community to distribute and exchange between each other, we can all thrive together. And that's exactly what We Did is doing as well. It's making it so that artists and fans can have this direct marketplace of ideas that also empowers the fans to get what they want more so. Like, you can ask me to do a collaboration with somebody, and you can crowdfund that before I have any say in it. And then I can say, like, yes, okay, I'll do that because you all have expressed that you wanted this much and you're willing to pay this much as a collective. There's like this collective handshake that we can have now. I think it's going to be really good, man. I think it's going to be something that helps artists. It's going to be one of the tools, like Bandcamp is one of the tools to help artists and fans own their community and empower all of us to thrive together.
Beautiful. I'm going to take a little jump back into some music here to break this up. I'm going to jump over to Paris, France for a little bit of Spiritus Functus is the name of the band. The label is Owned Music. Ben Rando is curating on a regular basis artists in France and beyond that he finds interesting, and then I'm gonna slide it a little bit of that and go straight into another imprint, Modern Icon Recordings and Greg Dayton. So let's see how these two pieces of music get along together.
It's beginning to feel like dawn. Streets are empty, lights are gone out. And finally we're all alone, on and on and on and on. New day comes, but I can still smell the fragrance you left behind my soul. Wandered without control, sleeping out for a stroll. I may not let this morning calls me after all. Quiet pace, smiling faces of my friends far. Oh, that stirs my soul so surely on. That stirs my soul so surely on. just waking up, but it's all over. Hanging your head, dragging your feet, searching for that four-leaf clover. A sad story, everyone you meet. You said, baby, won't you make me? These are so good that I could fly. But it's crazy how you take me on this roller coaster ride. Change your ways. Change your ways. I ain't waiting no longer. I ain't playing no game. How can we grow stronger if it all stays the same? I can take you to a better place. Smile painted on your face. Running through this crazy maze. If you're willing to change your ways. Change your ways. Every day is a repetition. Every night is a stone cold blur. Your only friend is superstition. Tell me who you are, not who you were. You can pick your heels together, bring that rainfall from the sky. Make believe that you feel better. We both know that's a lie. Change your ways. Change your ways. Change your ways. Change your ways.
Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Change your ways. Change your
dig it.
ways. A message for 2020 for all of us.
That throws me back. That whole album is like it's like the smash up between like Dylan, James Taylor, Tom Petty. It's like a throwback, but with the
It's harder
production.
than those, yeah.
And I was gonna say with the production with Adrian Harpum, it's like it's literally this album is for me it's like the definition of modern icon, right? It has that great old school songwriting that you just don't get a lot these days.
Yep.
Okay, right? And then you combine it with this production value of this modern kind of vibe. So Greg Dayton, Sailing for the Sun, that was out on February 7th of this year, if I'm not mistaken, through via Modern Icons, one of the imprints here on the Ropeadope label. Shout out to all you guys who are listening live or on the replay. And Lewis, what we got a couple more. We got one more. What do we got lined up here?
Well, I want to talk to people for a second. We're going to be doing this show every morning at 9:30 for the next 2 weeks. We will skip Christmas Day and New Year's Day for obvious reasons, but we're running down 69 singles and 75 records released on Ropeadope in 2020. It was an epic year. We were theoretically done with our schedule by January 9th, but we kind of kept the gates open and kept the doors open here at Ropeadope for people who really wanted to get the music out in such a crucial year. And we are seeing people going to our Bandcamp page, which is ropeadope.bandcamp.com, and supporting these artists in so many ways. And we've been very proactive and careful to account and get much needed money to artists as quickly as we can, and we hope that you continue to support. We have at the top of that page, ropeadope.bandcamp.com, you can see all of the associated imprints. You'll see Tiny Records there. You'll see Modern Icon Recordings. You'll see owned music, and in a minute we're going to go out with something from a record label from our very own beloved city of Philadelphia, Artists First Recordings, with Kin for Life from Atlanta, Georgia, a wonderful dynamic duo, if you will. I also want to say that what we're going to do with this is, at the end of the week, I'm in the mood to give some things away. So tune in tomorrow and Thursday and share. We're going to pick from the sharers a few people to get some Ropeadope t-shirts. We are going to include our new announcement of some new Christian Scott merchandise, some t-shirts, some beautiful, beautiful imagery on t-shirts. Tune in Thursday for that announcement. And then when we get into next week, we're going to be dropping all kinds of things. We've got test pressings. We've got some new vinyl pre-orders happening. And we have things from the vault, from the archives, little things that have been around the Ropeadope offices that we'll be putting up for sale. 2020 has, I was talking about this yesterday.
Hey, before we get into that, Louis, check the Zoom real quick. I think the beautiful people out in the world may be seeing this mug as a pinned view.
Oh, really?
I think so. That's what I'm catching on the stream.
All right, let's see. I'll pin us both. Oh, it's not letting me pin both. Technical glitches abound. Why? Zoom added a new feature to pin both of us. And now
I love this shit.
I can't do it. All right, so now you talk for a while the camera's on me, and we'll balance it all out. Okay. Good. Great stuff. What a day. Mornings, man.
I'm so sorry to bust that up. I'm like, why is my face on the stream? Like, I'm like, I got my microphone muted. I'm like, why am I still on the stream? So sorry, Louis.
So much glitchy software. It seems to be different every day. I mean, I have the latest version of Zoom, and the multiple pinning is not there. So Zoom, if you're watching, get your act together. See how I deflected that? I was talking with someone yesterday about the sale of Bob Dylan's songs to Universal, I guess, and the price of $300 to $400 million. And I thought to myself,
not enough.
Not anywhere near enough, My brother said if it didn't have a B in front of it, it was underpriced, right? And I'm sure he has his reasons, and I'm sure he's not hurting, But the concept came into my head about what we're doing here in these recordings, right? We always have this assumption, there's a lot of great music out in 2020, so there's just going to be a lot of great music next year too. This may not be the case. The things that these artists are putting down are treasures that will last for all time, and I think we're seeing that people are valuing that a little bit more, and this disposable society is kind of changing a little bit. I hope. That's all I've got. I'm gonna pin you to close us out. There he is.
Boom, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, for anyone that's watched any length of time of this program, it's not going without appreciation. We're gonna be back tomorrow and the day after. We're gonna be giving you a couple of 3 weeks just about of the rundown of what we're doing here at Ropeadope for 2020. And here's the significant part: you guys have an opportunity to bring music back to the front that you may have forgotten about, which is exciting to me. And you have an opportunity to support these guys on Bandcamp. So make sure you're visiting, downloads.ropeadope.com for all of your musical needs. Closing out, it's not too late. I know Christmas is right around the corner. Wouldn't it be amazing to have some new music for Christmas? I know I'm getting some, along with some Ropeadope attire. Thank you, Louis, ropeadope.com for all of that.
But you better get your order in, bro. That stuff's
I know. I got to get my size is what I got to get. But no, sincere thanks to you, Louis, for pushing the envelope here. The work is not done, and that's very, very clear as we're closing out 2020. And I'm really, really excited about 2021. So, for all of you guys who are out there in internet world, thanks again. Tune in tomorrow, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. We'll be back with some new tracks and some new music from some artists.
Yeah, it's going to be. Let me run it down for tomorrow and take a look at the feed. I figured out a solution. We have tomorrow more Nathan Paul. We have Ensawa Saraka from Tokyo, E. Scott Lindner in New York, Paul Bobrun from New York by way of Haiti, Morkin for Life, which you're about to hear. The great Dekel Boer may join us tomorrow from Berlin, Snack Cat, and great single from Cole Di Genova. So
nice.
That's episode 3 coming up. Looks like a lot of work. Gonna say on the way out that it's been an absolute pleasure to work with Artist First Recordings, Melody Forrester, and these wonderful humans, Nora and IQ, Kin for Life. It is, my favorite thing is that it's very different from the, bulk of music that Ropeadope has put out. Although we have some diversity, I think this really stretches it, and I dig that a lot. So, gonna switch over to that and sign off, everybody. Thanks for joining. Thanks, Mr. Brown.
Thanks, Louis. Appreciate you.
Welcome to the Kid Factory. Welcome to the Kid Factory. Welcome to the Kid Factory.
Backseat of my Jeep, let's swing an episode. Backseat of my Jeep, let's swing an episode.
We can swing an episode, only if you let me. Let me. You the only one in control. I'm hoping that you let me. I recognize that you're a queen. And you know it. I'm just trying to win your hand. No more talking, show it. Only if you let me.
I'm on a mission, get permission for the kissing. Cause I know just what I'm missing when I ain't with you. Shit, we could roll a blunt and maybe watch a movie. There's no pressure, I'm just really trying to chill with you. Shit, you're something special, something different, something new. I just wanna be a boo.
I just wanna be a baby.
If I'm coming off the top, it's so easy, you so fine. I'm just trying to be with you.
I'm just trying to be with
We
you.
can swing an episode, only if you let me. Let me. You the only one in control. I'm hoping that you let me. I recognize that you're a queen. And you know it. I'm just trying to win your hand. Show it. Only if you
I
let me.
recognize you a queen. I need you up on my team. Smoking green in my limousine. She looking like a cuisine. She dope and I'm starting to fiend. Let's take a trip to Belize. Together we can shine. You forever mine. Do things you never believe. Try everything we can save. Until they call the police. Neighbors say I must be killing that. I leave that pussy deceased. RP to that good, but only if you let me, girl. I'm trying to be your first and last. So let's swing an epi, girl.
We can swing an episode, only if you let me. Let me. You the only one in control.